Panther Nation podcast. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, cut it. Cut right. And I would like to introduce one of the hottest podcasts in Carolina history. Let's go. Yeah. Talk, let's chat. We got time to chop it up. Talking analytics and fantasy draft. You know what's up. Panther Nation representing, cause this is where we talk that. Talk that's so incredible. Make them rewind that talk back. Pause. Talking Panthers football, we discussing it all. On and off the field, you know exactly who to call. You know we the #1 podcast. Competition is non-existent, you need to stop that. Pause. It's an honor to be a Panther fan, pause. At Bank of America, that is where we ball. Coming to the jungle, then you gonna feel the pause. Winning the trophy for the city, it is the call. Black, white, and blue, we going Carolina strong. And this is the conversation where everyone belongs. Discussing all the numbers and topics, you know we got it. We the hottest podcast and we poppin', let's go.
Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy Rashad. It's Dave in the building, and we got Big Q. Big Q, what's cracking?
Shout out, bro. Appreciate you brothers having me back on the Panther Nation podcast. Much love to brother Rashad, brother Dave. What's happening, family?
You're only gonna get me for 15 minutes, man. I'm just gonna let you know that. I'm still waiting for my fight to freaking board at this rate.
Yeah, Dave on his way down here. He's actually going to be at the game. So we both be at the game together watching week 3. And that's what we're here for. We're here to preview the week 3 matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. Man, it's tough for y'all, man. Y'all open up the season with 3 consecutive division games.
That's right.
Woo.
That's right.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I know. The NFL don't do us no favors, bro. We just knock them down as they go, bro. That's
tough. I realized that. I was like, God, man, that's tough, man. This is our first one. I can, Hugh, we was having a little conversation before this. And yeah, man, it's just tough. It's tough being a Panthers fan, man. We were talking about it, and we were talking about Christian McCaffrey. We were talking about all these things, but I can just kind of set you up and kind of let you know where the Panthers are right now. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're 0-2. We had a tough loss. We were robbed. To be quite frank, against the Cleveland Browns, where they got away with illegal spike. Now, it is what it is. But it happened. Then we followed up with another loss against the New York Giants, where we just beat. And Giants are they're ascending team, but they were also a beatable team, and we didn't beat them. So we're 0-2. Our coach is not a good coach. And I've been screaming, you know me, Q. We've been having these conversations for a long time and screaming for this man to get fired for a long time. Yeah. And it's just that's kind of where we are, man.
Real talk, Q. Keep it a buck.
Yes, sir.
If y'all beat our behind on Sunday, you might take us out of our misery, bro. Keep it a buck. Keep it a buck. I'm serious.
The seat is hot.
If y'all,
isn't that hot?
That joint is flaming.
It's hot, bro.
It is hotter than hot.
The block is hot, 400 degrees. It's hot.
It's scorching.
Yeah, there's no one else to blame, is it? You get rid of your OC, get rid of this guy, and nobody else to blame. JC versus ain't gonna save him.
And he's not gonna fire Phil Snow. They're a package deal. So
there you go. Yeah, that's tough there, brother Rashad, brother Dave. I was looking at the games, man. It's the both matchups. The Cleveland matchup and the Giant matchup, you guys lost. I mean, one by 2, the other one by 3. So it's just finishing the game. I was looking at Baker Mayfield, some statistics, doing a little homework today on him, man, and it's tough sledding, bro. I was looking at the statistics of the defense, bro, about with the defense, and the defense, secondary wise, man, they don't look as bad, I guess. I mean, but then again, you're going against Cleveland with a backup quarterback, and the Giants, whatever they did, they kind of got that one. But I mean, what's intriguing and interesting, bro, is that regardless or not, man, it's still an NFC South matchup, and anything can happen in this joint, bro.
Very true. Very true.
So
Very true. I mean, when you talk about it, Matt Rules, I think he's only beaten you all one time. And that was last year when you all came to the bank and that was the COVID. Y'all had half y'all coaching staff and all that missing. So we kind of got away with that one, but and I was talking cash shit when I came on your show. I took a hell of a victory lap after that game, and then we got humbled. Couple of games after that, we came right back down to earth. And so but it's not good, man. I mean, really, the magic number. I don't know if you heard about this stat, Big Q, but the magic number to beat the Carolina Panthers, you get to 17 points. You damn near got it locked up. Have you heard the stat?
No, I haven't, bro. No.
Let me enlighten you, sir. Matt Rule is 1, and don't listen to me now. I'm not stuttering. Okay. 1 in 25 when the opposing team scores 17 points or more.
Wow.
1 in 25.
And I'll put it in perspective. To put it in perspective for you, the year that Ron Rivera got fired, he did it at least 3 times. The year that he got fired, 3 of those wins, the opposing team scored at least 17 points.
17 points.
17, that's it.
But that's amazing to me with the weapons. I mean, you got to help them McCaffrey. You do have DJ Moore. You got Anderson, who's crazy as hell, but still in all, he can make catches for you. So I mean, you did improve the offensive line. I mean, there are players there. Players there.
Q. So that is the most frustrating part about. That's the most frustrating part about it, is that we have talent. I've gone on these preview shows and I scream from the mountaintops. We got underrated players. You got to respect the players. Don't get caught slipping on such and such. Don't get caught slipping DJ Moore, JC, Jeremy Chin, Brian Burns. I mean, the players are there. It's just a matter of getting the coaching right, and that's what we haven't done. As a Carolina Panthers fan, it's just really tough to sit back and watch this every week. And it's just the same. We get up here and after do the post game shows, and it's the same stuff every single week, bro. It's the same thing, and we can't blame. It's some things we could blame in the past. Like we could blame the offensive line, but statistically, the offensive line is playing pretty well. Icky's taking his lumps as he should as a rookie. Yeah. They take time to kind of get transitioned over. But our offensive line is decent. I say more than decent. I say they above average offensive line right now. Mm-hmm. And then you got Baker back there who doesn't quite trust him. He's used to playing with a number 1 offensive line and a number 1 run game, and he doesn't have that here. And so that was Dave and I's biggest fear when we got Baker Mayfield, was that he didn't have that supporting cast, and it's starting to come to light, is that he's not that talented when he doesn't have those guys around him. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Because I figured he'd give you a better time than Darnold did. But right now, 380 in 2 games, 2 touchdowns, and the pick, and the QBR of 23.7. That don't look good at all. Yeah, that's not good at all. Yeah, dead last. Yeah, so that's intriguing, man. Because like I said, you look at the black and gold on this side of things, and we sitting up here. We sitting up where we are at 1-1, coming off the loss against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was an ugly loss with a lot of foolishness going on in the game. So I mean, a lot of suspect calling, a lot of bad play offensively speaking. But this time around, we got our own share of issues and stuff that we got to figure out as well. We got Jameis is banged up. I was looking at they just released the injury report earlier today for the first time this week. And they're showing Jameis with a back and ankle issue. Now the good news is Paulson Adebo, our fantastic young cornerback, been out for the last couple of days with an ankle issue. He finally practiced, which is good because we got kind of tired of seeing Roby over there. But Roby was all right. Alvin Kamara is back. Ramczyk is dealing with some stuff, and I see Taysom is on here with a rib issue. But I mean, at the end of the day, we do have some issues offensively speaking that we must address with all of the firepower that we have. We have not yet shout out low. We have not yet to gel like we want to, fellas. I mean, we still figuring a way right now to kind of get that offense online, man. So we got some issues that we got to deal with offensively in the black and gold building that we got to solve real soon.
Yeah. So who's gonna do the Superman chat thing, man?
That'll be you, Rashad.
Nah, that ain't me.
Da-da-da.
They can't. Dave can't do it. He can't. Dave
Nah,
can't
he
do
just
it.
did it. Dave
In
got
the
it.
airport, they'll turn at him and look at him and think he crazy.
They all
That's
looking at me
true.
anyway. It's not a
That's
big
true.
deal, guys.
That's true.
It's not a big
Dave is
deal.
a big dude. He's a big dude, so everybody look at Dave like he crazy
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny. Okay, so talk to me about the Saints a little bit more, because I'm looking at the stats and I see y'all not really, getting after it from a pass rush perspective. And I'm not saying y'all not. I'm just saying the stats don't show it. You got what, one sack this year? Really? Was that what I saw? Yeah. Tied for one sack, tied for 30th. That's what I see. Is that wrong?
Nah, you in the ballpark, bro. And the thing
Okay.
is, the problem, man, wow. I mean, just thinking about that, I knew that, but at the same time, just that hit me like a ton of bricks to realize the Saints right now, usually we be really getting after it. Like in the matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, bro, 4 of the 5 starting offensive linemen were out. They had a back of the backup blindside tackle for Tom Brady, and we got to that ball one time. So they did a phenomenal job. That's why I had to give the Tampa Bay family members some credit, because that back of the backup offensive line were able to stop the Saints to just hold them to 1 sack. And I think that was one of the big reasons why they were able to get some success, because he was always Tom Brady was already cussing and complaining. If we were sacking him, that would have just finished him. But we just couldn't get to him. They did a phenomenal job. So, the pass rush has got to get it together, man. No doubt about it. We got the scheme, everything. We got to ratchet up the pressure going into the season. We got to definitely turn it up.
Yeah, I mean, and we haven't, we're tied for 23rd and giving up sacks. We've given up 6. But largely, it's Baker Mayfield not trusting what's in front of him, right? I've seen Baker run himself into sacks, and it's not cool. I think he needs to really calm down in the pocket and trust what's in front of him. Then I think the offensive coordinator has to help him out. There's some plays where I'm like, all right, I bet these quick tight end seam passes are working. I've seen a lot of that. We really like to utilize our tight ends to put the stress on the linebackers. So I like some of the things, but overall, calling a game from whistle to whistle, from first quarter to fourth quarter, we can't seem to put it together. We cannot sustain drives. I think we've been doubled up on time possession in both games. It's almost doubled up, right? So we can't sustain any drives. We can't convert third downs, and we're not getting many plays. We're not getting many shots at the football. Like, we only run 50. I think we ran 58 plays or 55 plays on average the first couple of games. So we can't keep the ball. We can't sustain the drives, and we can't really score when we got the football. Like, it's just from an offensive perspective, it's ugly, and I think we need to fix that ASAP. And I don't know. I mean, obviously, you got Lattimore. The secondary is tough. DJ Moore gonna be tested. We're gonna see how that works. I think it's an interesting matchup to watch.
Yeah, that was good one.
What about y'all run? What about y'all run defense? What that looking like?
Run defense is actually pretty solid, man. In the game against Tampa Bay, they were trying to run Leonard Fournette against the Dallas Cowboys. Had $120 and some change. It helped them kind of spur them to win. We in a matchup against the Saints interior defense shut him down. He had 60 yards rushing on 30-something odd carries. Brother Rashad Dave, that was 2.4 yards per carry. The Saints actually in the matchup against Tampa Bay has a pretty good defense. Now the Saints were able to run up against them 20 times at a 5.1 yard per rush average there, and had the Saints continue to use the 5.1, which is, like you guys know, always say there's 2 rushes first down. 2 rushes first down. I always saying that song, because if they able to stick to that, that's instant success. For whatever reason, we deviated from that game plan.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear right there. You stick to that run game, it's going to be a problem. Now, we did make some changes. We gave up 217 to Chubb and Cup and Hunt. But we contained Saquon pretty good. So that brought our average down a little bit. But we always are liable to give up the big run play. And that's my biggest fear. Now, we did elevate Marquand McCall, who is having he's an undrafted guy from Kentucky, big 350-pound dude, a space eater. He's playing well. So he helped. Derek Brown is having a hell of a year so far. That should be interesting. Ionitis in the interior. So it's going to be tough sled in the gut, but getting to those edges, that's where we really have trouble. And our linebackers, man, Luvu's playing well, but outside of him, it's really tough sledding when it comes to defending the run. and especially when you get to the edges, it's not pretty. But hopefully we can continue our run game, because y'all run game is nice.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of my biggest fears going up in week 3.
I think that'll probably be what it'll be too, Brother Rashad, to be honest with you, man. I was talking about this on the Monday stream and then the Patreon stream on Tuesday. Shout out to the fam. We made mention, I was like, listen, if you and everybody knows, of course, you can look at the injury report. All the teams know what time it is with Jameis, what his injuries are. They know that he has 4 fractured vertebrae in his back.
Why is he playing, bro?
Bro, I can't answer that. Yeah, I know, but if they feel like that he's good to go, man. Me personally, looking at all of that, if Jameis struggles really bad in this game and he looks uncomfortable, I would definitely consider kind of sitting him down for a minute and letting him heal up, man. We got Dalton. That's what the Saints got Dalton for insurance for Jameis if he had issues.
Right.
So
I think Dalton is viable. He's a viable option. I mean, he's the greatest quarterback in the world, but I think he can make it happen.
Right. Yeah. And the idea is the Saints. The thing is, to keep it a buck with you, when you look at the scheme, there's a rust factor involved. You know, we know week 1, week 2, teams are still trying to figure it out. If you look at what Jameis is, and when he has these injuries that's accumulating, the Saints are hoping that he can heal on the move. The issue is, over the last 2 games, the Saints have surrendered 10 sacks in 2 games. How is he supposed to heal if he getting the hell beat out of him? That's not including knockdowns when it comes through down on blitz and James gets rid of the ball and he still plants Jameis and knocks him down on the ground. You know, so, you know, they're going to have to do a phenomenal job of protecting Jameis and keeping him upright and trying to insulate them to the best of their ability. That means he threw the ball 40 times in the last game with those known back issues. That's way too much for a guy with four broken vertebrae. And I know he shot up on painkiller, but still in all, you can't do that to him. You got to be able to have more of a balanced approach. They shouldn't have had 40 attempts in the matchup and 20 rushing attempts. No, you need to use the rushing attack. Even if you have to bring an extra running back in to do that, we need to start getting the rushing game going. We need to get the running game going. 30 to 4. I was preaching 30 carries plus in this upcoming matchup against the Carolina Panthers. You can't do that to Jameis, having him throwing the ball 40 times in the matchup with those type of injuries, man. That's serious stuff.
Yeah. Shout out to A-Cash, one of our supporters. He said, I guaranteed on 3rd down, Jameis won't be under any pressure because Phil 335 Snow will drop Burns in the coverage like he did. Yeah, Brian Burns was dropping in the coverage a lot. I think he dropped back 15 times into coverage against the Giants. So they try to kind of, play the chess, use the chess piece and all that. And sometimes I get it because he's a hell of an athlete, but 15 times is a lot. On average, he's dropping back about seven times per game, which is about right. Yeah, but they doubled that for some reason. Go ahead.
But the thing is, you got to consider, man, considering that
the first class,
Dave? With the offensive line right now.
Can't hide money.
Huh?
Is that first class, Dave?
No, please. Are you kidding me? I'm in the back of the plane, bro.
Oh, I thought I saw 2 seats. My bad. I thought I saw 2 seats.
Oh man, no, there's 3 seats. It feels like 2 seats because there's nobody in the middle of us, but no.
Got you. Yeah.
It's Southwest, bro. Bags fly free, baby. But like, I think the struggles of the Saints offensive line is going to give more reason that we're probably going to do more 3-man front on the defensive side of the ball. Have a feeling that McCall's going to get called up again. He's going to get activated again to put him in the middle of all that. So it'll be interesting to see if we can actually do better with regards to that. But Jameis, man, yeah, I was listening to you guys. Man, that dude's got massive heart to be out here playing.
Yeah, I know. Yep. Yeah, four broken vertebrae. I know Glazer dropped that nugget, and I was telling the family, I was like, man, that ain't no chump injury now.
Nah.
I mean, you can see he's in serious pain, and they even said that he's dealing with serious. I was like, man, and they're trying to pad his back the best way he can. But, and you got to think about it, and Jameis is one of the top 5 deep, accurate deep ball throwers. And he missed quite a few of them throwing them deep. So, throwing to his deep guys. So Um, it's just it's a wait and see approach with Jameis, because if he takes abuse in this matchup with Carolina, the Saints gonna have to consider maybe sitting him down. You got to protect him. That's key number one. If you can stand up there and protect him and keep him from getting hit as much, and I mean 10 sacks in 2 games that's ridiculous, man. That's totally ridiculous. So, like I said, even though the Saints are 1-1, we surprised the Lowe's Atlanta Falcon team. We came back up in that thing and stole it from them. That was like a rival act, a really passionate game to start the year off. The second was another passionate game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In all honesty, we don't hate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers people hate us. They're the ones that say F the Saints and they do all this kind of stuff. We don't go around there saying all that stuff to you unless you come up here saying it to us, then we'll run you off. But that emotion that the Saints exhibited in the matchup, we just didn't have the right scheme, in my opinion, to take care of them. We should have beat them there. We really should have. The game was in our hands, and we just used the wrong scheme in the second half, and many in the first and second we weren't able to offensively, but I just think it was the wrong scheme. We should have just stuck to the run. We had success running the ball. If we had done that, we'd be able to spark the pass and have some shots downfield. And whether James hit on him, I think more than likely he probably would. But you got to use the run to set up the pass, and I think the Saints we were kind of inverted there, and we paid when it came down to it. Making James throw the ball 40 times, it just and he gets a little antsy because he's trying to make a play up the field as opposed to take what the defense give him, and he got in trouble a couple of times.
But the big thing with me with all the emotion that was happening in that game, I think that there's just a legitimate beef between Mike Evans and Lattimore, man.
Yeah, but Lattimore got him beat, Dave. That's why he's frustrated like that. Lattimore eats rich space. That he got a free space in his head. He doesn't like Lattimore because he doesn't have good games of Lattimore. Even in the game before he got kicked out of there, he had 3 catches for 60 yards, but it was ineffective. Wasn't no great, it wasn't nothing that was impacting the game majorly. So the Saints, they, like he had a pass, a deep catch that he was making, and Lattimore got up in there and knocked it out of him, and he frustrates and flusters Mike Evans. He got a switch. He can turn them off, turn them on, self-check. So, I mean, and he takes shots at him, and I thought the suspension should have been given 2 games as opposed to 1 game because he got a history of doing it. You're taking cheap shots at Lattimore, and I appreciate that, and I think Mike Evans is a jerk for doing that kind of stuff, for cheap shotting the guy. I think that's just not how it's supposed to go. But on the other ways, Dave, that's domination. Lattimore all day on Mike Evans, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, I was watching the game when that happened. That was wild, man. That was wild.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
So Big Q, talk to me about because I know talking about offensive line a little bit more, because I know Penning, y'all drafted Penning, and he is hurt. Yep. So what is it looking like? Like because I see that Ramczyk, he's given up 2 sacks on the season so far, and that's y'all man's. Like, what's going on? Like, what's up with this offensive line, bro?
I think they're still trying to work it out, brother Rashad. To be honest with you, the line has done a pretty decent job in running the ball. I think they're more harmonized in terms of running the ball, which is why I kind of want them to do that. The passing situation of in a couple of those sacks that happened, in the 10 sacks over the last 2 games, you got to give some of those to James. A couple of them, but the majority of them is the offensive line. Like in Tampa Bay game, there was 6 sacks there. On James, 4 against the Falcons. You can't let your quarterback get beat up there. So the Saints offensive line must improve. I mean, they have to be able to get together. They got to be work on it and get a lot better than what they is. So James Hurst occupies the blind side position. Hurst is from his days in Baltimore. He's been a pretty good offensive lineman for the Saints. I don't agree that Hurst is a long-term option at the left tackle position. Hence, that's why Penning is here. I think he does better interiorly speaking as a guard, but him doing what he's doing from the left tackle position would just have to be, he's our best option right now, unless you do some switcherooing on the line. Me personally, I think Ramczyk should be moved to the left tackle position. That's what I think. And maybe this is not time to do it. Maybe there's something you look at during the offseason when they have more time to practice that. But eventually, I think Ram is the best offensive lineman we have right now. He's not, he needs to improve, but all of them do. Hurst is left tackle. You got Andrews Pete at left guard. McCoy is looking really solid. Right guard position is handed over to Cesar Ruiz, the former center who the Saints picked up out of Michigan, who they convert into a right guard. And then, of course, Ram at the right tackle position. Doug Marrone is our offensive line coach. So Marone got to get them together, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man, because our defensive line is, outside of Burns and Brown, we got a bunch of question marks. Ioannidis is a rotational guy up in Washington. It's solid up there, just in rotation. He had a really good game against the Giants, and then outside of that, we got Yetur Gross-Matos, who is really disappointing from a pass rush perspective. Yeah, he's not really living up to his second round pick, so he's. We need to see more from him. It'd be a great game for him to kind of live up to it. But yeah, Brian Burns, he's feasting. He's going to get the pressures. I really don't matter who he lined up against. He can move around all over the place. So I think Brian Burns is definitely on his way to a double-digit sack year. He had 2 against the Giants. He had 8 pressures by himself against the Giants. So he's playing very well. Yes. Some Panthers fans think he's overrated. I don't think so. I think he's a really good player, and yes, sometimes he does over pursue. That's just kind of his speed. He's so fast. He can't. He just over pursues sometimes. So sometimes he overruns it, and it happens. It does happen more often than I like to see. But it's just one of those things. He just he'll get better. But already has 2 sacks. Again, I think he's top 5 in the league right now in pressures. So he's gonna be solid. He's gonna be solid. Just we need to see more from. I like to see our secondary get tested a little bit more because, like you said, although we get in these games where they don't really have to be tested because people can just run on us. Like you can just run the football at will against us. And so if you get that, you're not seeing as many footballs being thrown at us. Love JC. JC had an amazing game last week. He only allowed 4 yards, 1 catch, 4 yards. I think he was targeted 4 times. So he again, love JC. This would be his 6th game as a pro because he went down early last year. Still like to see more of CJ Henderson. I love CJ Henderson. Had a rough go in the first week. Gave up a huge PI call. And then we don't know if Dante Jackson's going to play. That's one thing to watch because he is on the injury report.
Right.
Yeah, he's limited today. Got a hammy, may not play. So we have to see what happens with that. But between Miles Hartsfield and Xavier Woods, I think we'll be fine. Go ahead, Dave.
So the big thing you mentioned the running game and the fact that teams have been able to run on us. Although we did a pretty good job against Saquon Barkley on Sunday. So I'm curious to know about Alvin Kamara, whether or not he's going to play. Does it look like he's going to play this week? What's his status?
Yeah, they're showing him. He practiced today, Dave. So unless he has a setback, look like all indications that he should be good to go against Carolina on Sunday. That's a big help because Mark Ingram is another one of those not noticing these negative stats that we throwing out, that Ingram had 2 fumbles in 2 games. That's not good. And the big fumble that really stifled us in the Tampa Bay matchup where the Saints were marching to score. You had 3 straight. We put our backup running back in there, Dwayne Washington, and Dwayne hits the Tampa Bay Buccaneers directly up the center. He had 3 positive rushes against them and had them reeling. And then he takes a breather. They put Ingram in there. He gets in there, gets decent yards, and then fumbles the ball back to Tampa Bay. That killed the drive. The Bucs go down and score, and the whole momentum of the game changed. So Ingram has to. With Kamara coming back, I'm really happy that Kamara's coming back because Ingram right now 2 fumbles in 2 games, man. He got to get that together, man. You can't do that, man. That hurt the hell out of us.
Well, Q, I got some good news for you. The Carolina Panthers have yet to turn the football over. We have forced 0 turnovers in 2 games, dead last. So while we do, we bend but don't break. We just haven't forced any turnovers yet. So that's not a good thing. Again, I like our defense. I think our defense is the positive. If you want to find anything positive, you're looking at the defensive side of football, but they definitely have their flaws too. They're not perfect. Again, linebackers are the weak spot. And
Shaq Thompson and okay, I see what you're saying. Corey Littleton, he a backup for you, huh?
Yeah. So it's just like we got these guys that are kind of journeymen at this point. We got Corey Littleton and Damian Wilson playing this, and those guys rotate in and out. Luvu is great. He started off rough. He didn't have a good game against the Browns. He followed that up with an amazing game against the Giants. He had like 10 tackles, almost had a pick 6. He dropped it. That would have been 1 turnover, but Luvu balled out. If he could follow that up he would be he'd be great. And then like Shaq is cool too. Shaq didn't do anything in training camp, so I think he's kind of ramping himself back up. He took all training camp off, so Shaq is great. Shaq is great too. He had a 10 tackle game too. So it's just those other guys, the guys that play the interior, and then Louisville's rotational. He kind of plays edge as well. So he's not a true linebacker. It's kind of one of those tweeners. But yeah, I mean, like I said, we have our flaws on defense for sure. We have our flaws, no doubt. And getting off the field on third down is one of them. Even on defense, we can't get off the field on third down. Sometimes we can't stop the run. We'll see what happens if we can stop the run. That'd be great, but and then can't take the football away. So we got our flaws, man.
Still NFC South battle there, fellas. And
right.
I've seen enough NFC South football period to know that sometimes, you know, things don't always happen as you see them. Sure. In the matchup, I see like with the Saints offense, you see the guys. Mike Thomas is back. You see Chris Olave there taking the tops off. You see Jarvis Landry operating out of the slot position. Elvin Kamara. That's a lot of talent in the Saints offense. I think we have yet to gel, but I think we're getting there. We should, I think the Carolina matchup could help us get to that position. I think defensively speaking, the Saints defense is still pretty much solid. The interior situation with the interior lineman is still strong. It'll be difficult running up the center. And with DeMario Davis and Cam has been getting a little pressure from the Who Dat Nation because he hadn't really appeared in terms of his sacks. Davenport has been quiet, but I think ultimately these guys, Dennis Allen, who's a fantastic defensive coordinator. Well, he's not the defensive coordinator, but in his mind, he's a defensive coordinator who would be able to dial up some more pressure to try to see if he can unbalance or kind of rattle up Baker Mayfield and try to see if he can neutralize what the Carolina Panthers are doing. So it's going to be still in all, when you go out to Carolina, the Saints always have, from my recollection, had difficulties beating Carolina in Carolina, even when last year when we went out there after destroying the Green Bay Packers in week 1 and then going to Carolina. And then, of course, we did lose McCoy in that Green Bay matchup, and Cesar Ruiz stepped in. We had some players with COVID and all this kind of stuff, but we still had enough personnel that I believe to get the victory. And Carolina showed them some sports in that matchup. So, and that's the one where my boy Rashad was really he was sounding.
I was riding high, bro. We were 3-0 at that
grand
point.
opening.
I was letting everybody have it, bro. I was letting everybody have it, bro. 3-0, and then it just went to hell in the handbasket after that.
Won 2 games after that.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
Dave is quoting Jay-Z, huh? He said grand opening, grand closing.
That's exactly what happened.
Chris Rock.
So I mean, hey, listen. I think we can win this game. I think it's not like we've been getting blown out every game. Like it's
no, you've been in there.
Yeah, we've been hanging in there. Like Matt Rule says, we're close. Like I can't believe he actually says that, but we're close. But I just, when it comes down to it boils down to coaching. And can we coach a good enough game with the players that we have? We got the players. The players aren't the issue. Can we coach up a good game? Can we not get punched in the mouth immediately? Because that's what's been happening. And you look at it, it was funny because last year we were a team that would get up on guys like early. Like we would go hard in the first half, and then we wouldn't adjust. We would kind of go out there and say, all right, we got it. And then the NFL coaches do what NFL coaches do, and they adjust.
Yep.
This year, it's like all of our film is out there. Everybody knows what we're gonna do. Like everything is out there. So they know what to expect from us. So they're hitting us in the mouth first. And then we try to come back in the second half because we do. Now that we have NFL coaches on our roster, we got McAdoo and we got Steve Wilkes. Those guys know what they're doing. Yep. So we do try to come back. But, and all in all, when it boils down to it, in the fourth quarter, we just can't make it happen. So all I say is that, listen, I wouldn't be surprised if we did win this game. I think this is a must-win game for Matt Rule. And I know some of y'all Saints fans probably a must-win. It's only bro. This man's seat is hot. He's
lost 9 straight. This would be number 10, a nice round number if he somehow doesn't win this game.
Yeah, so it'll be like Dave said. Oh, go my fault, Dave. Go ahead.
And with the injured Jameis, He's a battered Jameis that's probably gonna end up starting this game. If injured Jameis comes in here, comes to Charlotte, and slings it, Kamara puts it on. We lose this game. It's gonna be a tough shot to keep Rule after this. He might get fired on the field like Herm Edwards did.
have a meeting at the tunnel. But yeah, man. No,
Not even on the
people
tunnel, just in the end zone, baby.
Yeah, Panthers fans are frustrated. Like I said, we've seen this for several years, 2 years now. This is the third year he's been our head coach, and we haven't seen any improvement. Like, it's the same thing every single week, and so he has to win this game. It's a division game. I meant to look this up earlier. I meant to look up his record against the division, but it can't be good. Like, it can't be good. I think he's won. Maybe I can count maybe on it's maybe one win, one or two wins max. We never beat the Bucs.
We've never beaten the Bucs. He might have beaten the Falcons twice.
And we beat the Saints once. I know that because I just looked it up. So you talking about
not good.
Yeah, it's not good, bro. It's not good. And so he needs to win. He needs this win, bro. Because it gets and our schedule is brutal. Like, it gets brutal after this. Like, if we can't pull out a victory against you all,
I got it.
Oh, go ahead,
guys. I gotta make my exit because I gotta turn the electronic devices off. But it's been real, guys. You guys have a good one. Good luck. I'm picking the Saints to win by a field goal. Only because
what you got? What score, Dave?
I'm thinking like 17-14. This is gonna be a low scoring type of game. I think the defense is gonna play that game. So it'll be a game that Matt Rule loses.
I see you didn't pick him to go over 17.
1-26 for Mr. Rule. All right, you guys have a good one.
All right, Dave.
And I'll see y'all soon.
Have a safe flight, bro.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
So yeah, there you go. 3-9 versus NFC South. Not good.
Not good at all. No.
Yeah, it's not good. So he needs it. He needs this, bro. Like, I don't, because after you all, we have the Cardinals. Then after that, we have the 49ers. And it just get brutal. It gets worse after that. Like, we got the Bengals, the Ravens. It gets bad. It gets really bad. And so we need to catch a dub where we can. I mean, injure Jameis. We gotta find him where we can find him, bro. And so that's what it is, man. That's the life of a Panthers fan. We can switch. You want to switch squad?
No, sir. I'm black and gold to dead and cold, brother. That's it. We got the right. Say, bro, listen, bro. Y'all had some success, a lot of success, bro. Jake Delhomme earlier back in the day, we came from South Louisiana.
The good old days.
Yeah. And see, and then we had the bag days and all that, man. But like we said, you got to get the right guys in there to build that culture, man. And that's what I'm saying. Dealing with us, black and gold, I think the third week, I think the Saints work up a better scheme. I think this time around it'll be more run based than pass. I think it should be. I think the Saints run the ball 30 plus times in the matchup. I think they can be able to get their offense going. I don't think they go ballistic in the game, but I would be my call on the score, brother Rashad, would be 24-17. That's what my call would be. 24-17, something like that.
So yeah, if you got yourself going over 17 points, that sounds like a W for you all.
But you're saying, but it's you can't discount desperation. You can't you got a team with they back up against the wall, and the team with a coach that's facing firing. I mean, at some point, you got to look. They're going down. That them people is going to show some type of pride. They're not just going to roll over and let the Saints come in their building and step on them. So we have to be mindful of that. We're not, I'm not looking over anybody. Anybody have the propensity to beat you. They still have talent there, and somebody gonna catch a rhythm and going in week 3. This is about the time when stuff started happening between that third and the fourth week, when teams offense and everything else start jobbing together, and you're gonna start seeing a lot of harmony throughout the NFL into the third and fourth week with them offenses and everything starting to get on the same page. So I think the black and gold should be able to run the ball more than they pass the ball because of Jameis's injury situation, if they really want to help him. And of course, they got to keep the Panthers like Brian Burns, who's a guys that can get after you. You talked about Gross Matos, who out-scouted Gross Matos from Penn State. He's a talent, man, and you never know.
He ain't shown it yet, bro. He ain't shown it yet. He got to get there.
But you never know with speedy edge rushers like Matos and Brian Burns firing off the edges, going after guys with slow feet like James Hurst. The Saints have to be able to, like I said, to neutralize some of that. We got to run at the Panthers, man. We can't be stepping back, throwing the ball 40 times a game against Carolina. It won't be pretty.
Yeah, and again, I think the only way we win this game is if we have to keep y'all out of the end zone, right? We talked about the stat with the 17 points. I mean, that's funny, but I think it's true. It applies even more in this game. I think we can win this game. I'm confident, and as much as I have zero faith in this coaching staff, I think that this is a game that they can win, and I think they need to win. So I'm gonna go ahead and listen. I tried the reverse psychology thing last week. I tried to pick the Giants and hoping that didn't work. All right, so I'm going with my gut, and I'm gonna go with I think the Carolina Panthers are gonna win this game. I think it's gonna be 21-14. That's what I think. 21-14.
Okay, break it down, brother Rashad. Give me the inside baseball. How they gonna do it?
I don't know how they're gonna do it. It's a great question. I think no, seriously, in all seriousness, I think the defense, they're gonna get them one. I think the defense finally gonna get a turnover. I think they get 6 of the points, right? Or 7 of the points. So I think the defense will get maybe a fumble recovery for a touchdown, something like that. Special teams is really trash. They're not gonna do nothing. But I think, I think Baker's gonna have a better game. I think he's gonna have his best game this week. And it's not really, he's got nowhere to go but up from here. But I think he's going to have his best game. And I think the football, I've been begging for the football to get spread around. So I think DJ Moore's going to have a decent game and move him around, put him in the slot. They got to stay away from Lattimore Island. All right, I don't know if he's going to shadow him or not. I don't know how y'all typically work. But, I think we'll be able, I don't know. I think C-Mac's going to do what C-Mac does. He's going to get him a couple, but typically y'all be holding C-Mac down though. I think I got to look at the stats. Like, y'all do a good job against C-Mac.
Yeah, we practice against Kamara, and he's not the same, but I'm saying very similar. So the Saints know how to defend against Kamara because they practice against him all the time. So that's why C-Mac don't have the kind of production that you would see against other teams. We know how to deal with him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just thought about that as I was speaking it. Y'all do a good job against him. But I think, again, I've been screaming, again, Panthers fans that watch the show, I've been screaming for the ball to get spread around. You can't give it to him 50 times a game. Like Dave wants him to get the ball 40 times a game. And that's just not how a good offense should work.
Dave wants to give McCaffrey the ball 40 times.
He's a fantasy dude, so that's all he really cared about. That's all he cared about.
Dave gonna get McCaffrey killed, man.
Exactly. So I've been saying, spread the football around, get DJ Moore involved. The quick screen game hasn't really worked for us yet. I don't think we figured out the timing on that just yet. But we've got to be able to get DJ Moore the football in space and let him go to work. I just think he's such a good player, underrated, and we just don't. We just don't get him the football enough because we're so focused on getting to McCaffrey. So.
Yep.
That's what I think the score is going to be, Matt. But I think it's going to come from our defense, though. I think our defense will get 7 because our offense is going to struggle a little bit.
Well, Brother Rashad, let me just say this, man. You already know it's coming. So,
yeah.
Bro, all I can say, bro, is that the Saints, man, listen, man, the defense for the Saints, even though against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we had a few flubs in there. I think the Saints defense are getting better. There are players like Alontae Taylor, who's our second-round draft pick, that's improving. Justin Evans, who come from the Buccaneers, was playing the slot position, doing a very admirable job of it. We get Adebo, our second starting cornerback, back for this matchup to help solidify a secondary. Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, Davenport, and the rest of the entire Saints defense is pissed off about the performance with Tampa Bay. They're really upset about that. The team is upset about that. They've been listening to all of the stuff that's been happening, and if they tell you they're not, they lying, because that's what they use to inspire them to play better, to kind of take care of business against the next team. And that's what the Saints need right now. They need a win. So we got to take care of business in Carolina. That's the thing. Traveling to Carolina, regardless of what type of team you feeling out there, Carolina always gives the Saints some type of issues out there in Carolina. It's just what it has been over the recent memory. So the Saints major issues internally is that they have to figure out what they're going to do, whether they're going to pass it or run it. They gotta find out what's that identity. With Pete Carmichael taking over the Saints offense and being that guy, what are you going to use? What is the first mode? Are we going to be a passing team or a running team? And Dennis Allen, when he took over the team as the head coach, his mentality was to be a running team, and then of course to pass off the run. That's what he was hinting on in his various press conferences and things that he was talking about. So we need to get on the same page. And I think through the weeks 3 and 4, when you see offenses, because the Saints offense, they hadn't exhibited except for that fourth quarter explosion against Atlanta. But overall, that wasn't an aberration. What you've seen in the fourth quarter, that was a brief glimpse at what the Saints offense really is. But they got to find a way how to sustain that type of production, and they have to use the running attack to do that. So the key to it is the running attack to set up the rest of the pass. So I think you'll see probably the most complete Saints offense that we've seen. And I mean complete in terms of the duration of the game, and not just having spurts in one quarter or so to pull out games. I think the Saints will put together a solid a team performance against Carolina, and that's why I have the score 24-17.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I could definitely see that happening. I think both situations are plausible, but we'll see. We'll see. I think that, again, Carolina needs this, man, but we'll see what happens. Q, that's all I got, man. Anything else you want to talk about before we get up out of here, man?
Bro, well, first and foremost, bro, I'd like to give you a shout out, my brother, for y'all doing what you do with Panthers Nation. Podcast is the best in the Carolina Panther family, man. A shout out to you, brothers, for all the great work that you and Dave been doing over the many years, my friend. And I appreciate being here talking about the game with you, my brother. And and of course I'll be available for the recap, win, lose, or draw, brother.
Yeah, sounds good, man. And let my people know where they can find. I know we've been on each other's show several times, but let my people know. I do got a couple of new people. So let them know where they can find you at, man.
Sure. Thank you, brother Rashad. For the family members out there, you can check us out at the Sports Coma on YouTube or the PRO Media Network. You can put either one of them in there to bring you to our YouTube page, or you can simply go to our website, our headquarter website, with all the content we do. We produce 50 pieces of content every month, something crazy like that, at the whothatdaily.com. That's the whothatdaily.com. That's where you'll find a lot of our stuff at as well. Or you can just put PRO Media Network in YouTube and it'll pull us up.
All right, man. Q, well, good luck on Sunday. I'm going to hit you up either way, or maybe not, depending on how mad I am.
He ain't lying either.
I'm not, yo. I'm not.
He ain't lying, y'all. He ain't lying. He ain't lying, man.
Yeah.
He ain't lying. Rashad is not lying, man.
Yeah.
He ain't coming if he ain't body said, man, I ain't doing that, man.
Nah, honestly, I have accepted, I've accepted the truth. We not a good. It's really, I do it to myself. It's no point me even getting mad anymore. For what? I know how bad they can be. I've seen these up and down performances. I know what they are. It's on me. I go to these games. I scream my lungs out every single week. For what? It's my fault. So you know what? I shouldn't be mad at nobody but myself for setting my expectations so high that and expecting these boys to go out there and do it because they just haven't shown the propensity to do so since Matt Rule has been the head coach. So it's my fault. It's my fault. So I'm gonna holler at you either way, man. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. How about that? I'm gonna do better.
That's good. That's what I'm talking about, bro. But hey, man, listen, hey, bro, listen, you're a diehard, bro, and that's the lumps and the bruises, bro, that come with it,
Sure.
So that's how it is.
And I tell Panthers fans this all the time, man. You can't be out here celebrating at the Super Bowl if you can't deal with us being this bad, because it happens.
Yeah.
We've been to the Super Bowl twice, we lost, but we've been to the Super Bowl twice. And we've seen these times before. It's cyclical. NFL is designed to be cyclical. You're gonna have your ups and your downs. So we just gotta hang in there until it's our time again. But unfortunately, it won't be our time until we get rid of this cat, because Matt Rule is not the answer. So until we move on, it's just kind of it's gonna be what it is at this point. So
we might help you out with that this game, brother Dave.
Hey, man, listen, listen.
Both you and Dave can appreciate the Who That Nation. We might help y'all out with that.
Hey, listen, I saw it in the chat. Some folks are cheering for it. I never cheer for a Panthers loss or a tank. That's not me. I can't do that. But I can see it. I can see the perspective of someone that would want that to happen. Never be me, but I get it. I get it.
Yeah, give Tepper a reason, man. Give Tepper a reason to get him up out of there, man.
Yeah, we'll see though. But all right, Q, man, let's get up out of here, man. Again, it's a pleasure have you on the show. I will return the favor, even if we are 0-15 at the time we play you all. I will show up. I owe you a return show. So I'm gonna come on your show next. We'll have your setup, and we'll streaming live either way from both channels. But I'll do the favor of coming back on your show and have you have your setup because your setup is dope too. So, but yeah, man, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. All right. Like, subscribe, notification bell, get in the comments, all that stuff, man. We out. Thank y'all for watching, man. Peace.
Peace.